Hello everyone, welcome back to the Film Farm. I'm back with another fun and interesting video that is going to be about top 10 romantic movie even guys love. Before getting into it, subscribe to our channel so that you never miss any fun video. Without any further delay, let's get started. These are the romantic movies even guys love. For this list, we'll be watching romantic films that your boyfriend, husband, brother, and father secretly can't get enough of. We've included movies like Annie Hall, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Before Sunrise, and more. Starting with number 10, The Princess Bride. Yes, it's the story of true love between a woman and a male child who will go through all sorts of troubled waters to be with one another. So why shouldn't men be embarrassed to observe this romantic movie? Cause Peter Falk says so, and I will be damned if I'm getting to sit here and listen, while you badmouth Columbo. The Princess Bride is that rare film that actually assures its male audience that they won't grow a vagina by enjoying it. And that is the truth. With sword fighting, torture, giant wrestlers, revenge, and rodents of bizarre size, it almost causes you to wonder what the ladies folks see during this movie. Oh yeah? Carrie Elwes. Number 9. Say Anything. Cameron Crowe's directorial debut tackled what would, by most standards, be considered a cliché romance. The typical, somewhat popular guy going after the last word girl nearby. They get together, the girl's father disapproves, they hack, and he tries to win her back. Normally this is often the things date night movies are made from and typically put thoughts of suicide within the mind of any guy who has got to sit through 120 minutes of it. But it actually breaks the mold and is totally acceptable without an XX chromosome on the other side of the couch. This is a growing up story as much as it is a romantic comedy, and every guy on earth has been in Lloyd's shoes. Number 7. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Much like romantic comedies have been generally geared towards the womenfolk, science fiction is largely targeted towards guys, and there really isn't ever any crossover. Rick Deckard, Luke Skywalker, Ellen Ripley, and Sarah Connor all made it through their respective films/series without a big other. Cognizant of this fact or not, Charlie Kaufman and Mitchell Gondry blended the two in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and created a movie that any dude can proudly display on his DVD shelf. Much like Say Anything, the movie takes a completely relatable situation, the deterioration and supreme end of a relationship, and warps the foremost common breakup thought within the world. I wish I could just forget about her. The film structure and cinematography as Clementine and Joel run through past memories is enough to justify owning and watching this movie. Number 6. Most of Kevin Smith's filmography. Yes, they're crude, obscene, and infrequently disgusting. But most Kevin Smith's movies also are, at their root, romantic comedies. Think about it. The key conflicts in both Clerks films is Dante's inability to make a decision whether he should be together with his current girlfriend or be with another. Malraux is about two guys who are dumped and, while using the mall as a coping mechanism, attempt to repair their relationships. Zach and Miri Make a Porno is about two friends who discover that they need long-hid feelings for each other. Do I actually need to explain Chasing Amy? Number 5. High Fidelity. Apparently John Cusack features a superpower that permits him to rework the foremost feminine genre outside of period pieces and musicals into a masculine affair. Or maybe we a bit like seeing him get dumped. Who knows? What I do know is that no guy should ever feel embarrassed about watching Hi-Fi. As much because the movie is about Rob Gordon's sexual love and every one time, top 5 most memorable breakups, the film's subtext regarding music's effect on lifestyle is far from exclusively feminine. Throw in the snarky, career-making performance by Jack Black and an upscale fantasy about crushing the top of your ex's new boyfriend with an air conditioning, and you've got a movie that's better suited to be watched within the front room rather than your windowless basement. Number 4. True Romance. Love, Tarantino style. This is not your typical romantic comedy, and I say that knowing that it's the sole one that features James Gandolfini being blown away with a shotgun, Brad Pitt as a stoner who smokes out of a honey bear, and Gary Oldman as a Rastafarian pimp. You shouldn't be embarrassed to observe this movie. You ought to be embarrassed that your sexual love isn't as cool as this movie. Pretty much every movie from the Apatow crew. Much like the works of Kevin Smith, these aren't the films that immediately spring to mind in casual conversation. But that's because these movies were made for lists like these. All of those movies have their gentler sides. Andy's first date with Trish within the 40-year-old virgin, Ben's growing relationship with Allison in Knocked Up, Peter's recovery with Rachel after getting dumped and forgetting Sarah Marshall, etc. That keep the films in genre, but have the nudity, video games, marijuana, and everyone things generally classified as guy humor. No got to hide your appreciation of Seth Rogen, Jason Segel, Jonah Hill, or Paul Rudd, gentlemen. Number 3. Romancing the Stone. Let us now head back there to wonderful decade called the 80s, when Robert Zemeckis was still making movies with characters who seemed to have souls. Before he made a reputation for himself with Back to the Longer Term and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Zemeckis directed Romancing the Stone, a romantic comedy set in Colombia. Honestly, I feel pitying any man who walked past their local theater and saw that title with this poster. Going solely by those two items alone, the film seems like a typical schlocky romance novel adapted for the large screen. I feel sorry for that man because he didn't go see the movie. What he missed was an excellent adventure flick with Michael Douglas playing a badass, an in her prime Kathleen Turner, and an excellent turn by Danny DeVito. Feel free to possess this one in your DVD collection, sirs. Just turn it so that only the spine is showing. Number 2. 500 Days of Summer. Yes, Gordon-Levitt is that the only other actor that appears on this list twice. Does that mean his generation is Cusack? That's for an additional article. We're here to speak about 500 Days of Summer. Much like Eternal Sunshine did, the film tells the story of a relationship in non-linear fashion, mixing the great times and therefore the bad. It is one of the more honest films about relationships that has ever been made, fully grasping what it is like to both be happy and miserable in a relationship, something anybody can relate to, including the foremost masculine of men. Number 1. Lost in Translation. If you took anything far away from Zombieland, it should have that Bill Murray will always be cooler than you, regardless of how old he gets. This was proven in Lost in Translation. It certainly isn't your typical romantic comedy, most notably because the connection between Bob and Charlotte isn't such a lot about love, because it is about truly understanding where the other is coming from. They are both stranded far away from home, Bob filming commercials and Charlotte's husband off at different photo shoots, and once they meet they find a connection that they cannot find anywhere else in Tokyo. If you are a guy, just let me know your favorite movie among them. If you are female, do try out these movies with your partner and let me know in the comment section. Did I miss any great movies? With this, I am wrapping up this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to never miss any updates.